This is Winston Churchill, speaking to you from London. The words crackled through the radio, a beacon of defiance in a world consumed by war. 2 years ago, on this very day, the veil between our world and the Ninth Realm was torn asunder. The German war machine, hungry for conquest, marched through the breach. They sought to claim the mystical power of the Kitsuna, to bend it to their will. They sought to enslave an entire realm, to fuel their insatiable lust for domination. Churchill's voice, though aged, resonated with a strength that belied the grim reality. For 2 long years, the brave Kitsuna warriors have held the line, their cunning and courage a bulwark against the Nazi onslaught. But their strength is waning. They are outnumbered, outgunned, and facing annihilation. The weight of his words settled heavily in the silence that followed. The Ninth Realm, once a place of vibrant beauty and ancient magic, was now scarred by the brutal hand of war. German tanks, their iron crosses stark against the smouldering landscape, rumbled across the once pristine plains. Their artillery rained fire down upon the Kitsune defensive positions, each explosion tearing another chunk out of the realm's dwindling hope. The German soldiers, hardened by years of relentless conflict, fought with ruthless efficiency. They had been promised unimaginable power, the secrets of the Kitsuna magic, and they would stop at nothing to claim it. Their advance was relentless, a tide of steel and fire that threatened to consume all in its path. The air was thick with the stench of cordite and death. The once vibrant forests were reduced to blackened stumps, the crystal-clear rivers choked with debris and the bodies of the fallen. The cries of the wounded, both Kitsuna and German, echoed across the desolate battlefield, a chilling testament to the war's brutal toll. Amid the chaos of the battlefield, a figure stood tall, undeterred by the relentless onslaught. General Cherry, the Kitsuna commander, was a beacon of hope for his people. His eyes, sharp as a hawk's, scanned the horizon, taking in the grim reality of their situation. His fur, once pristine white, was now matted with dirt and blood, but his resolve remained as unyielding as steel. At 2:45, General Cherry rallied his troops, her voice cutting through the cacophony of war. "We will not falter," he declared, his tone unwavering. "This is our land, our home. We fight not just for ourselves, but for the future of the Ninth Realm. Let every strike be a message to our enemies. We will not be broken." His words ignited a spark in the hearts of the Kitsuna warriors. With renewed vigor, they launched a counterattack, their movements a blur of precision and fury. General Cherry led from the front, his katana slicing through the air with lethal grace. Each of his actions was a testament to his leadership, his unwavering commitment to his people. Despite the overwhelming odds, General Cherry's presence on the front lines inspired the Kitsuna to hold their ground. His bravery was a shining example of the indomitable spirit that defined the Ninth Realm. Even in the face of certain defeat, he refused to surrender, embodying the hope that still flickered in the hearts of her people. As the battle raged on, one thing became clear. General Cherry would fight to his last breath to protect his homeland. His resolve was a beacon of light in the darkest of times, a reminder that even in the depths of despair, hope could still thrive. Deep within the heart of the Ninth Realm, the Kitsuna fought with the ferocity of cornered animals. Their once great armies had been decimated, their cities reduced to rubble. Yet they clung tenaciously to their homeland, their will unbroken, their spirit unyielding. Their natural cunning, honed over centuries of warfare, was their greatest weapon. They were masters of illusion and deception, striking from the shadows with lightning speed and vanishing before the enemy could retaliate. Their katana, forged in the heart of volcanoes, flashed with deadly precision, each swing a testament to their ancient martial prowess. But courage and cunning alone could not hold back the Nazi war machine forever. Their numbers were dwindling, their supplies running dangerously low. They desperately needed help, a lifeline from beyond the veil if they were to have any hope of survival.
Mr. President, we cannot stand idly by while an entire realm is consumed by tyranny. The Kitsune are our allies, fighting for the very freedoms we hold dear. We must send them aid, and we must send it now.
In the Oval Office, far removed from the carnage of the Ninth Realm, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt wrestled with a decision that could alter the course of the war. Ambassador Zachary, his face etched with exhaustion and worry, had just finished a harrowing report on the dire situation facing the Kitsuna. Roosevelt, his brow furrowed, tapped a thoughtful rhythm on his desk. He understood the plight of the Kitsuna, the threat posed by Nazi aggression. But America was still recovering from the Great Depression. and the spectre of another global conflict loomed large. The decision to intervene was not one he took lightly.
Mr. President, with all due respect, this is not just about the Kitsuna. If the Nazis succeed in conquering the Ninth Realm, who knows what horrors they will unleash upon our world. Their thirst for power knows no bounds. We have a moral obligation to act, Mr. President. To stand by and do nothing would be a betrayal of everything we stand for.
He pointed to the maps spread across the president's desk, maps that depicted the rapidly shrinking territory held by the Kitsuna. Roosevelt, his gaze fixed on the maps, felt the weight of Zachary's words. He knew the ambassador was right. The fate of the Ninth Realm and perhaps the world hung in the balance. But the decision to commit American lives and resources to another war, especially one fought on a mystical battleground in another realm, was a gamble he was hesitant to take.
What they need, Mr. President, are aircraft. The Luftwaffe has complete control of the skies above the Ninth Realm. The Kitsuna are fighting a ground war against an enemy that can rain fire from above with impunity. We can give them the means to level the playing field, to fight back against this tyranny. Provide them with P-51 Mustangs, Mr. President. Give them wings of hope.
The image of the sleek, powerful fighters soaring through the skies above the Ninth Realm, their guns blazing, filled Roosevelt's mind. He could almost hear the roar of their engines, the chatter of their machine guns, as they tore into the heart of the Luftwaffe formations. The silence in the Oval Office stretched on, thick with tension and the weight of the decision at hand. Roosevelt, his face etched with the gravity of the situation, stared out the window. He knew that inaction had its own consequences, consequences that could be far more devastating than the risks of intervention. The fate of the Kitsuna, the future of the Ninth Realm, and perhaps even the safety of his own world, rested on his shoulders. The world held its breath.
Mr. President, the Kitsune are fighting for us all. Please don't let them down.